Hi, this is Crystal, one of your Take 5 co-hosts today, and I wanted to talk a little bit about spirituality. As we're thinking about this project, as we're thinking about building resilience, and as we're thinking about taking care of ourselves, it's important to take care of our spiritual health. It's important to put time into our spirituality and to reconnect to some of those sources that are helpful and meaningful for us. Before we do that, though, we have to kind of define what spirituality is. So, what is spirituality? One definition of spirituality is the way we make meaning of the events of our life and experiences. And actually, a chaplain by the name of George Fichette coined that definition. So, a broad understanding of spirituality is how we make meaning. What is meaningful for us? What brings us purpose? What brings us maybe hope, or what brings us fulfillment in life, joy, happiness? Within spirituality, we have religion. So if you think of it as a circle, spirituality being a big circle, and within that circle, another circle, religion. What is religion? Well, religion could be religious denomination, it could be faith traditions. It is organized religion. It is really the organized practice to the way we express spirituality. It's how we connect to God. It's how we connect to a higher being or a higher power that we find meaningful through our spirituality. So you might be saying, why are we having this discussion about spirituality and religion? Well, part of the reason why we're having it is because spirituality and religion, whether you define yourself as spiritual or you define yourself as religious, can really help you in times of suffering, in times of grief, in times of sadness. It can help you when you may not feel like you have hope. It can help you when you feel like you might be at your limit. It can help you when you feel overwhelmed. And the way that it helps you may differ from one person to the next, but let me give you a few examples of things that that might be helpful or meaningful. Sometimes people find prayer helpful. Prayer, talking to God, sharing their concerns, maybe praying within community, sharing their concerns to other people who may express prayers. Other things that might be helpful practices is like reading sacred text or reading scriptures. In the Christian tradition, the Bible is a sacred text. In the Jewish tradition, we have the Tanakh, or we have the Torah. We have in the Muslim tradition, or within Islam, we have the Quran. And there's many different sacred texts. There's many different scripture passages that could be in other various faith traditions. I'm certainly not mentioning all of them, just mentioning a few right here today. But what is helpful for you? I often like to go to the Psalms. I like to read the Psalms because I like songs, and I sometimes feel like the Psalms do a good job of expressing some of the feelings that I have, whether that might be lament or happiness. I especially like the songs that talk about dancing. I'm not a great dancer, but I will say that sometimes I really like that physical expression of being able to dance. I dance with my daughter sometimes, and it's really fun. What are some other practices, spiritual practices or religious practices that are helpful? I think meditation and breathing, sometimes catching your breath or slowing your breathing down and just meditating, which really means thinking on something, right? You're thinking about something that is helpful. Well, I think in this day and age when we have so much going through social media, sometimes it's helpful to think about things that might be hopeful or encouraging, things that might help us build resilience. Because you think about the news and you think about social media, sometimes it's just really challenging what is on there. And so every once in a while, we may need a short break from that. And we may need to meditate or think on something that may be a little bit more upbeat or a little bit more positive, something that will help us and encourage us. What are some other practices? Singing. Some people really love singing. They really love poetry. Maybe they really like expressing themselves through laughter. So humor could actually be a spiritual practice. What are some other ways? Sacraments. In some faith traditions, people like to receive the sacraments such as the Eucharist or communion. They like to be together within community. They may like to do confession. They may like to do some other sacraments such as baptism or things like that. And I'm not mentioning all, I'm just mentioning a few to give you some ideas of things that may help you connect to God or connect to the holy. So what spiritual practices are you using today that will help you? And what spiritual practices have maybe you forgotten about that might be helpful, such as journaling or maybe writing or listening to music? I think I mentioned that one already. Looking at art. Sometimes people don't think of that as a spiritual practice, but actually looking at art, looking at beautiful art, thinking about the healing spaces. I just want to invite you to look at our other video, the St. John's Bible, and look at some of the beautiful art that's there. Go to some of our other videos on the channel that talk about our healing spaces. If you have an opportunity, visit some of those healing spaces on our campus and just spend a few moments kind of recharging, reconnecting, and thinking about your spiritual health today. As always, we are available as chaplains to talk with you and to provide individual spiritual support. You can call our office and let us know if you need some help. We have several chaplains at the office that can help you. So I hope you're having a great day. Just want to encourage you to think about your spirituality and maybe your religion and something that might be helpful for you today, so that you can make it through today, so that you can do your job, that you can feel better, and that you can feel encouraged today. As always, I value you. I appreciate the work that you're doing. It's hard work. Working in EVS, working in transport, working in linen, working in our food services, working as a security officer, our guest services. I just really appreciate the work that you do. I appreciate you as a person. And just wanted to say that. I hope you'll hear that today. And I hope you'll reach out to us and ask for some spiritual care. Have a great day. We'll see you later. Bye.